Let's call this meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Abby and Lauren from the Builders Club. If you want to come on up and lead us. That'd be awesome. If you can push a little button right in the center right there until it turns green. Perfect. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies. If you want to come on up, Superintendent Kalis has something for you.
We have these really awesome color changing with heat pencils that elementary students get very excited about, but they will sure to do you well on your assignments. So thank you so much
job,
for
ladies.
being here.
And they're number 2.
I get excited by those pencils.
I like them.
They're awesome. All right, moving on. Can I get an approval of the agenda, please?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, first up tonight, we have the Student Council, and representing the elementary, we have Ben and Lewis. Come on up.
Hello, my name is Ben Rempel. We are here tonight to give a Meridian Student Council update. The Meridian Student Council has been working hard over the last few months. In December, we made cards for kids who were in the hospital. The cards we made were given to kids at Mott's Children's Hospital and Children's Hospital of Michigan.
Hello, my name is Louis Siak. In January, we made snowflakes for local businesses such as like the bakery, East End Cafe and stuff. In February, we made Valentine decorations and cards. We donated them to Island Woods residents for their Valentine's Day party. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Nice job, both of you. How about Ben and Lewis? Do you want to come on up and get a pencil also? Come on up.
I don't know if you got enough.
I have a couple.
It's Oprah Day today.
I appreciate it. Good job, guys.
All right, from the middle school, Callan O'Donnell, come on up.
Hi, my name is Kellen O'Donnell. I am the secretary for the Grillsville Middle School Student Council. We have just gotten our executive board members. Zaina Badi is the treasurer, Sophia Rempel is the vice president, and Chelsea Adams and Alexandra Backus are the co-presidents. We've been working on a service project to make our school better, and we have decided to update the courtyard, and we have made committees to research ideas to make it better.
Nice job, Kellen. Very good. All right, come on up, Kellen.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and wrapping up with the high school, Taylor and Katie. Now, no pressure, Katie, but I'm golfing with your dad on Sunday, so I'm gonna have to report out on this.
Hi, I'm Katie Antashevitz. I'm the Executive Board President.
Hi, I'm Taylor Karasinski. I'm the Executive Board Vice President. So the first thing that we wanted to go over was this past weekend we got an amazing opportunity and we attended a Student Michigan Leadership Conference. Me and Katie are both seniors, so this is our last year attending, and we got amazing ideas for fundraisers and events that we can share along to the younger underclassmen to do for the next upcoming years. And overall, I think it was just a really great trip and we learned a lot.
Now we are planning on our Charity Week. It is March 10th through the 14th. Our two charities this year are Kesem and Tails. Tails is our local animal shelter. They help injured and homeless pets find a new home. And Tails is a free summer camp and support groups. What? Kesem is a free summer camp for kids whose parents are battling cancer. Our goal this year is to raise $10,000.
Very nice. Thank you, ladies.
Katie?
All right, come on. Katie and Taylor, come on. High schoolers love these too. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. All right, moving on next, we have public participation. Do we have any public participation in the crowd tonight? None showing? We'll move on. Yeah, you don't get any pencils, you're right. All right, presentations. First up tonight, this is the best part right here. We're lucky enough to have the Inventions finalists from the middle school. So Ms. Teen, would you like to come out and introduce your crew?
Well, hello, everybody. I hope I get a pencil. We always can use them. So I'm excited to be here tonight. First, well, at the middle school, we have an invention class, innovation, and it is through Wayne State University and the Henry Ford Museum. So it's called Invention Convention. And I'm so proud of all the projects from our first semester, and our second semester students are getting started on theirs. And we actually have 4 groups out of the 5. One group wasn't able to make it tonight, but tonight you are going to get to see our 4 groups present what their project is going to be. And so what will happen is starting March 19th, they will do a pitch video, which will be sent to Wayne State University. And on April 5th, we will all head to Wayne State University where they will present, the judges will ask them questions, and then any students that make it to the next level, which would be the state finals, is at the Henry Ford Museum on May 3rd. So we're wishing our teams really good luck as they go on to this next step at the regional competition. So the groups are ready to go, so I'm going to have each group come up. They are going to I'll put their board in the front. They will talk about a little bit about their project and pass it around so everyone can see it. And then, yeah, be good. So, girls, you ready to come up?
No, I'll say. My name's Avery.
My name's Sophia,
We're in 7th grade.
and our name of the project is Backpack Organizer.
Basically a description of it, it's for your backpack because we know a lot of students like lose stuff in their backpack like pencils and like their charger and stuff. So we came up with the idea to make that.
It it is like it's like cardboard, and then we painted the cardboard pink and purple.
And we made it also with hot glue and yeah. And what it basically you slide it into your backpack and there's 4 things that you can put stuff in, but there's one for your pens and your pencils, and there's one for your charger and for your calculator too.
And pencil.
Yeah, I said that.
How it works is you slide it into your backpack on like the back pocket, and you can put your notebook behind it and your Chromebook behind it.
The reason why we made our invention is because Sophia loses her pencils all the time, and I've losing my charger before, and there's a compartment for that, which makes it very helpful to use. And yeah.
Did you test it out after you made your sample? Did you test it out? Did it work?
Yeah.
And who came up with the idea? Did you both come up with this?
I came up with the idea, but we both kind of had an idea how to make it.
Very, very neat. Very clever. Does anybody have any questions for Ava or for Sophia?
Was this your first idea, or did you guys come up with other things?
We had other ideas, but we didn't think they were as good as this idea.
And how many times did you have to rebuild it until it finally worked?
Probably 2 times because the pieces kept falling off.
Exact, right?
Should have stuck with it.
All right. Both of you, fantastic work. Very nice. All right, so Ava and Sophia, come on up, and you're going to get a new pencil. And hopefully that organizer won't let you lose it, Sophia.
Well done.
Nice job,
Not to
ladies.
lose. Good job.
My name is Matteo Parisi.
My name is Reed Van Noord,
My name is Wyatt Thiel. I'm Sonny Gandy.
and we're all in 8th grade, and the name of our product is the Lure Caddy.
So basically what our product is, it's like this tackle box holder that you attach to your bike so you don't have to hold your rod and your tackle box in one hand because that is not fun and it's very hard to bike with.
So there's a layer underneath this cloth, and it's 3D printed to help protect it from any rocks or anything. And then,
What inspired us is when we were riding our bikes, when you have your tackle box on one side, it like off balances it and you can fall. So this goes underneath the middle bar and it goes in between your legs, so it makes it a lot easier and safer.
And when you go to pick it up, take it off your bike, it's pretty simple. This goes on the middle bar and you take it off pretty much. It ties to the front here and you take it off and walk it down.
Yeah, excellent work. Anybody have any questions for the gentleman? Have you tried using it yet? Have you utilized it yourselves?
Yeah, we attached it to Mateo's bike over there and used it.
I love it. I love it. And how long did it take to put together and build?
Well, it took us a while, but it probably would take, if we really did it, it would probably take a few days to build. 'Cause
2 days? Okay.
3D print the inside of it.
And did you use the 3D printer at school?
No, we used mine at home.
Very nice.
Do you think all four of you will have one of these on your bike riding around this summer? I can't wait to see you.
Possible.
Getting a lot of head nods. All right.
Now, the most important question is, will that hold a pencil?
Yes.
All right, nice job, gentlemen. Come on up. Very nice.
You're welcome.
Gotta make sure he gets one too.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alexandra Backus. Today, I would like to introduce you to a invention called Kate's Splinty Splint. Before I get started, I would just like to say that Kate, unfortunately, is not here tonight, so I will be speaking on her behalf. Kate's Splinty Splint is a splint that holds the lower part, your knee, but like lower, I need to demonstrate this part of your leg in place. So it holds if you broke your tibia or your fibula bone, it holds that in place. In order for us to call this invention ours, we had to innovate it. So we added two awesome features to it. First, we have the temperature. You can change the temperature. We have a warm and a cold button, because we knew that if you had the splint on for too long, your leg might get warm, so you might want to make it cold. And then we have our last feature, color changing. So how this works is you take out any color you want, and this is just the charger. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then there's a slot right here. You just plug it in like that. And we cut out squares. And you just put it in this paper protector and it makes it look like it makes it red.
Very neat.
What inspired us to make this was we both love helping people and we both want to make a big impact on the world. So this will help people all around the world to heal that broken part of their body. So that concludes my presentation.
Very nice. Does anybody have any questions?
Pass this around.
What made you decide to make it color changing?
If we left it like that, it would just be white and boring. So we made it so we can change colors, match your outfit, or match your mood.
How many different colors are there?
There's
5, okay.
School lunch tray.
For school lunch tray.
Sorry.
And is this used mainly for people that run, for runners? Anybody can use it? Very nice.
How long did it take you to come up with your idea? And I appreciate you being mindful of fashion. Nice touch.
Well, very nice. Come on up and we'll get your pencil. Nice shirt. Nice job.
Hello, my name is Avery Parsons. I'm in 8th grade, and this is my project, and I call it Shake a Stink. So basically, it's a bag that you can put your clothes in, because right now teenagers are very self-conscious about their smell and odors, especially after gym class. So if you have like sweaty socks or if your feet smell bad, you can go into like a bathroom stall and take off your sock and throw it in the bag, and then you shake it for like 30 seconds, and then it comes out smelling like field flowers. So yeah, what inspired me is teenage odors.
Teenage.
And I have a few felt props inside of there that I took out, but I tested it by grabbing some stinky socks at home and putting them in and shaking it and testing it, and it worked.
Very nice. Avery, what do you put inside the bag?
Dryer sheets, and then I made some of these, which are the downy wash beads in a dryer sheet.
Very, very neat. Very clever. Does anybody have any questions for Avery?
For someone that was a former PE teacher, that is a much needed project.
Avery, nice job. Very nice. Avery, I have a question. Have you shared this with your brother yet? Not yet? Okay.
Avery, where do you think you would sell this?
Like Meyer or Kroger.
Yeah.
That's a neat idea. Well, Avery, come on up and go ahead and get your pencil.
Thanks, Avery.
It does smell good.
Wildflowers.
Well, thank you to everybody for coming up and presenting to us. It can be a little nerve-wracking, but y'all did fantastic. So nice job tonight, everybody. Thank you. And by all means, you're more than welcome to stay, but if you would all like to leave, you're more than welcome to leave as well. Okay? Yeah, no, yes. All right, let's move on to the next presentation with PAT. Rita, come on up. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm Rita Calcutt, and I have 2 Girls Yale graduates, and I have 3 kids still in the schools here in the middle and high school. Tonight, I'm going to give a little plug for your friendly PAT Booster Club. So what we do, I'm a current board member of PAT, and that stands for Parents and Teachers. And the organization, I mean, I'm new to it, really. I mean, other than having my kids in it and being a member that way, but being on the board and just kind of knowing what they do. But PAT has proudly just supported the district, the elementary students primarily, the teachers and schools with practical and enriching ways for many years, as far as I could tell. The club has funded a variety of educational activities to supplement our children's education. And this school year, we began working with the middle school and high school because PAT and PTO merged together. It just made more sense to have the one group. Our goal is now for all schools in the district to have the benefit of supplemental enrichment programming, staff appreciation, and other needed items for the schools. With the funds raised, we have been able to do a lot of great things. We funded guest authors at the elementary schools and middle school, various assemblies, hands-on Science Alive program, which will be at the middle school this year, so that's new. We're excited about that. The elementary's had that for quite a few years, I think. Global Day of Play, which is again at the elementary, although I think that would be pretty cool at the middle school and maybe even the high school. I think they would like it over there too. And the elementary Secret Santa Shop. Field trips, which this year too, PAT helped fund one at the high school, which I thought was really cool because I just remember going on field trips even through that level, and it was really fun. We used to be able to, at the elementary level, we would kind of advertise it as like free field trips because when there'd be the membership drive, that funding would support that. But this year we haven't been able to fully fund that, so that's sort of part of my plea here is that we'd get maybe some more support, maybe at the high school and middle school level particularly, since that's sort of new for us to be in there. We've done literacy nights again at the elementary schools. They have book vending machines at the elementary schools, so we help provide the books there. The bike and walk to school day at the elementary middle school, we partner with BPAC for that to help with I think we've done like gift cards and they do raffle tickets and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun for the kids to get that. Field days, which again, I would love to see at the upper level too, because I still think that'd be fun for those age kids. And teacher and staff appreciation in all buildings. And we've been able to help with special requests too. So one of those things with the staff appreciation is we've had some of the principals approach us to provide gift cards for different incentives for different things in their buildings. And so that's been good to be able to partner in that way. So in order to continue to meet our goal of support in these ways, we need the generous support of our families here in Grosse Ile. We conduct a membership drive at the beginning of the school year. When you become a member of the PAT, we invite you to also partner with us in various volunteering opportunities, and there are 3 general membership meetings throughout the school year where we welcome you to come and join us to see how your donations are being used, ask questions, offer suggestions. And the approach had been for years to just have a one and done. And so in the beginning of the year, we could just do that membership drive and it would provide what we would need for the year. But particularly since COVID, I think we've seen a pretty big drop in that funding. And so we've had to supplement. You may have seen that Mumpkin flyer that went out where the moms were in the, mummy head or the jack-o'-lantern. So that was a successful fundraiser for us. And then also Wendy Kearney and other PAT members are working like concessions at middle school sports to try to bolster some more funds. And so this year we've received many requests for field trips, enrichment activities, and other financial support from all the schools. And we want to say yes to all these things, of course. But with the combining of the two organizations, PAT and PTO, the middle school and high school families, we really wanted to get the word out that we need their support too. Because I think it's just, in the past, the PTO did a few things, but we'd like to be more like the support we've been able to do at the elementary with a lot of different things and making it fun and making it interesting and kind of supporting what teachers are already doing. The one other thing that I wanted to mention too is another fund resource. So anyone listening or anyone here, I don't know who's left, that we do have opportunities for business sponsors. And so if you have a business and you wanted to partner with us, there's advertisement opportunities and other ways that we can partner with you to get your name out there, but then also it helps the district and the students. And then the one last thing is I think there's been some confusion, a misconception of people confuse the two groups, GIEF and PAT. I think they think we're the same sometimes, or if you give to one, then you're good. And both groups do great things. GIEF, though, on what they do, what they provide are like larger, so more like scholarship and what's the word? I did type it here. Scholarships and grants. So larger ticket items, like if you needed, I think they helped with that immersion room at the high school. And so that's like obviously thousands and thousands of dollars, which we're very thankful that they're there and able to do that. But PAT is like a much smaller level, like day to day. Like if you need more of those pencils, Audrey, maybe we can. So it's that kind of stuff. Or just, helping with field trips or appreciation in the buildings or, the other things that I mentioned earlier, but just kind of day to day enrichment. Sort of boots on the ground stuff is what PAT really wants to be able to help with, because I know sometimes teachers are spending their own money to bring stuff in, and if we can help in those ways, that's really kind of what we're hoping to do. And so we do look forward to continuing to support in these ways, but we really do need the donations of money and time. We really could use when you go on so to find the membership form, there's a tab on the GI Schools website. It's the community tab, and under there it says PAT. That's where the membership form is, and then there's also contact information. There's an email address there. And we need, on that form, it'll have an area where you can fill in like what kind of time maybe you can offer, because there are opportunities for that too. So that's always super helpful, along with the money donations too. So yeah, that's my plug for PAT, and I hope that you guys have a good rest of the evening. Thanks.
Right. Thank you, Rita. Anybody have any questions for Rita?
I just want to say thanks for coming. We're incredibly grateful for all the things that PAT does.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Next up, we have the amended budget. Linda.
Good evening. We are here to present the amended budget and a high overview of what you will be approving in the action items tonight. As we went over in the work session, this is a snippet of what our amended budget is going to be looking like. I want to just do a high-level revenue increase. Increase from the original budget to the amended budget is $1,043,130. Increase in expenditures from original to amended is $745,344. We will have our expenditures over revenue for the amended budget will be $633,336, which is better than what our original budget was by $297,786. That puts our fund balance as a percentage of revenue at 14.22. The original budget, the percentage of revenue or fund balance as a percentage of revenue was 13.56. So it is looking better. As a percentage of expenditures, the amended budget looks at 13.86. The original budget was 13.03. This slide shows kind of a, not kind of, it shows the actual fund balances from 2016 to the present. And the last column is obviously an estimate of what we just presented. 2016 was the year that we went into deficit, and we quickly got out of that in the next year due to our enhancement millage, mainly due to our enhancement millage. And you can see during the COVID years, we were at our highest peak in the last several years. This just shows the revenue side of things and how that changed from the original to the amended of $1,043,130 and what makes up that difference. The difference is made up of our local revenue, an decrease of $45,800, and that is mostly made up of our local taxes decrease, and that is due to the Brownfield Authority differences that we received from the township over this last year. The intermediate is an increase of $58,630. That is due to a increase in the enhancement millage that we're receiving per student. We were originally budgeted at $350 per student. We are now receiving roughly about $390 per student. That's basically due to an influx of taxable values throughout the county. This is a county-wide millage. The biggest change in our original versus amended is in the state funding, and that is due to several factors. When we did the original budget, we did it based on an increase of $241 per student for our state aid allowance. That did not happen. Actually, there was no increase, but there were other increases. Categoricals is what they're called. So we have different increases, but it's called a categorical, and what that is if you get this categorical, you also have to have a expenditure. It's a kind of a one for one. So if you have this expenditure or revenue, you have to spend it on certain items, or they're earmarked for certain things. There also were some changes in what we call ORS or MIPSers or retirement. They're all one thing, and that is in the state budget. It's called Section 147. So you'll see a bunch of 147 changes, but the net effect of that was roughly about $600,000 change. We also received a couple grants and safety grants. 35J grant, and a Section 33, which is a K-5 visual arts and music grant. As I said, that's the biggest change in our original versus amended. That total change is $945,118. Next is the federal funding, roughly just a change of $102,525. That's our special ed IDEA funding, and our title funding, which includes Title 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have a final ESSER 11T money that we're using up for $18,549, and then there's a cybersecurity grant of $8,046. The last section of the revenue is our incoming transfers, which is our ISD or from grants from Wayne Risa. It also includes our DCTC and our special ed consortium. Those are reductions based on our expenditures. Our expenditures decreased, so our funding decreased on that. That decrease was $22,200 for a total of $1,043,130. This slide shows basically the pie chart of our revenues, our amended revenues, and as you can see, the state aid, as I mentioned, is the largest part of our revenue at 75.4%. And then we have the federal funding at 7.45%. Our transfers in, which are our DCTC and our ISD, that is at 5.41. We have athletics at 0.9%. Our local, which is our taxes and other local revenue, is at 8.5%. And then the enhancement millage is at 2.27%. And we're going to take a look at our expenditure side. And as mentioned, our expenditures increased by $745,344. The bulk of that is contractual obligations. We had contractual obligations settled throughout the year. And then increases in our contractual purchases, which is our ancillary staff. We had a leave of absence, and then a position that has not been filled. Our transportation costs are in that, and dual enrollment, and our direct college and Michigan Virtual is all also included in those numbers. Our repairs and maintenance increased by $98,350. Our supplies and materials increased by $197,186. And the biggest increase in that is because we got the grants, we also have the expenditure. So we saw the increase in the grants, we're going to have the increase in the expenditures. The other is capital outlay was a decrease of $1,700, and other expenditures or dues or fees, increase of $9,825. And then outgoing transfers, which is our consortium costs, of an increase of $4,500. So a total increase in expenditures of $745,344. This shows the pie chart of the expenditures, and the biggest expenditures are the salaries and benefits, and that total combined percentage is 78%. That's actually gone down over the last several years, and that's due mostly to our contractual third party for our transportation costs. The other expenditures are the purchase services at 12.17%, other repair services 2.02%, our supply budget is 5.55%, capital outlay is a small percentage at 0.03%. The other expenditures, dues, fees, interest expense, our tax collections at 0.66%, and then our outgoing transfers at 1.47%. The additional information is basically, I'm just going to touch high level of what actually happened throughout the year since the original budget. As I said, the salaries and benefits is approximately 78% of our budget. We did have some increases in our salaries, and that was due to the contractual obligations that we settled. We had non-affiliated contracts increase of $5,500, principal contract increase of $4,800, and teacher and ancillary staff increase of $445,800. We did have some savings, and we call it attrition. That's basically saying that, you know, if somebody retires at a high step, we hire in at a lower step. So we do have some savings when we have somebody retire and we hire. Those savings that for the non-affiliated group was $11,600, principals was $17,800, and teacher and ancillary staff savings was $259,300. That includes a savings of a vacant middle school counselor position of $54,100. Benefits, I just want to, again, if you have a increase in salaries, you're going to have an increase in benefits, mostly for the retirement piece of that. We did have a decrease in the UAAL, and that is because we budgeted the original budget at 16.89% when actually it was 10.58. So there's a big decrease in expenditures, but we also had that decrease in the revenue. And the only other thing I want to touch on the benefits for Section 147G, that is the employee 3% healthcare benefit that we've been discussing. The state is going to be giving the district the revenue, and then we have to pay the employees back that 3%. Next year, that 3% is, I don't believe, is going to be going away, and the employees will not be responsible for that. So the districts might be picking up that additional 3%. So we have to kind of watch to see what's going to happen with that next year. Again, this is just an overview. I mentioned the transportation costs. We did have an increase. We had a voc ed route increase, and then we had additional contracted servicer costs for an amended contract cost increase of $48,400. Subcontractor cost increases, again, these are the added needs, including our pupil services. Behavioral specialist increase of $6,000, and the speech contracted services increase, and that's due to a leave of absence. and a vacant position. So that increased cost is $76,000. As I mentioned, dual enrollment, online and virtual and direct college cost increase of $60,500. And then we also have contracted athletic service increase, and that's basically due to increase in officials and the trainer and coach increase. And lastly, I just wanted to touch base on the grants that we received this year. For the fiscal year 24-25, we received about $1.1 million in grants. But within the last 5 months of that 1.5, that's happened, we've got about $500,000 in the last 5 months of that $1.1 million. So done very well in that. Of those grants, Section 35J, that grant was $206,300. Section 33, which is a K-5 visual arts and music grant, $268,000. And then the state and local cybersecurity grant of $8,000. So roughly, as I said, $500,000. The expenditures for these grants will match, except for the Section 33. We were able to support the general fund by $218,000, which was a big win. And that's all I've got. So any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I do have some observations or concerns I see in through that you brought it up in there. One is the fund balance trend. Though I don't understand during COVID it was a little bit high, just the idea that it's trending down is always a concern for us on the board. We want to make sure we have a rainy day fund, especially since we've been through when we were really low and the state had to step in, and we don't want to go anywhere near that. I think transportation going up is a concern. You know, we can see that's trending up even more than what we budgeted for, which is always a concern, right, that way. I have a big state in the state's increase or whatnot, the lack of increase in student per population. They do it in categoricals rather than giving it to us and deciding what we think is best, and they put it in a certain category and it has to be spent in that category. I'd like a little more local control of what we do with our money to just give us, per student population, rather than tell us exactly what category if it doesn't fit in where we think it might be best suited for our school district. That's certainly a concern. Federal funds, we get 7%. I certainly appreciate that, but it's not nearly as much as other local districts around us get. We don't get as much federal funding, and that still is a concern there. Some of the better things, I think, are the positives, the grants. I'm really happy with what the grants that was done, people who have really taken the time. Justin, you're one of them, to write some great grants and bring some extra money in that. I think that's great. And salary and benefits, keeping under 80%, even though I know it changed because of what contract we get, it's still nice to see that it's that lower. And speaking of the contracted for transportation, it's surprising me that we thought privatizing might save us money. We were told that. It seems as if that's not true.
Yeah, and I
more
think
money.
We thought that too,
Yeah.
right? And I think that was due, again, mostly to COVID. And when we got out of COVID, that's when I'm going to say the hourly rate for the drivers just like skyrocketed, and they couldn't find the drivers because of COVID.
Right.
And then they had signing bonuses and all of that. So yeah, you're right. We did not save money by going out. I don't even know if we could even we couldn't at the time, could not field it.
Right, exactly. I understand why we did it. We just couldn't find anybody to do that.
Yep.
But anyways, thank you, Linda, for coming
Welcome.
and presenting it all.
I have a few comments as well. Just a note, you talked about a lot of those changes that were driven by MIPSers and unknowns during our budgeting process. So we have to have our budget finalized before the state finalizes their budget. And so there are some things where we're just taking best guesses at where it's going to land.
Yes. Yeah, and because their year end is September 30th, ours is June 30th. We are by law required to have a budget in place by June 30th. But we're doing that with not a budget from the state. So we do get, several, things that we're, work with and benchmarks and that, but and that's what we go with, right? But not until that budget gets finalized can we even say, okay, yeah, and that's exactly what happened here. We were hearing things that we were going to be getting $240, per student, and at the last minute that changed, and it was July 1st when that happened. So that was a tough period for not just for our school district, for all of the school districts. So.
Then we recently finalized a 2-year contract, which is, I think, a big win for the district. But, also just has budgetary impact. So we continue to run a deficit, and we just have to find a way to get our spending under control in different areas where we can have a equal revenues and expenditures, so we don't continue to run that deficit down. You mentioned the RESA enhancement millage. It only looks like a small portion of our revenue, but it's critically important to keeping us afloat.
I tell you, that I said earlier, that got us out of deficit that year. There was no question on that.
Yeah, it looks like a small piece of the pie, but an important piece. And then just again, to reiterate what Dan said, I think the grants are very important. Our team works very hard to turn over every penny to minimize impacts to our general fund, and every little bit goes a long way. I know, like you said, there's oftentimes an expenditure to match that revenue, so,
And that's the categoricals that Dan was talking about. I mean, they're giving out categoricals, which is great. But they are for a specific purpose, and you have to use the funding for the specific purpose, regardless of whether, your district needs that. So as Dan said, if there's local control and they give us a per student amount increase, we would be able to use it how the district, deems fit. So.
I just quickly also want to uplift the fact that we signed the 2-year contract with the teachers. We are so excited about that and happy that we are able to do that and to give teachers increases. And so I know we are still operating in a deficit and working through that, and appreciate all the hard work that's going into that. But I'm really glad that we're able to sign that contract with the teachers and give them raises as well. So thank you for helping to make that work.
You're welcome. Team effort.
Any other questions? Nice work as always, Linda.
Hey, thank you.
Time in there. Very nice.
I'd be happy to share.
You pick it up in the office tomorrow morning. How's that? All right. Next on the agenda, we have the consent grouping. Can I get a motion, please?
I move that the
Groseal Township Schools Board of Education approves the consent grouping items as presented.
Support.
This is the payment of bills from January 1st, 2025 through January 31st, 2025 in the amount of $2,880,073.48, and the approval of minutes for the January 14th work session and closed session, the January 28th regular meeting and closed session, and February 11th work session.
Any further discussion?
I do have one thing, Robin. I'm still not seeing the updated minutes for our work session on the 14th. I just had a couple of revisions to that. Oh, no, but that's what I thought. I just want to make sure that we're approving the correct minutes, because in board book, and it doesn't look updated to me. Okay. On board book or on the website? It was just a couple language pieces around just a couple of language in the work session minutes that Robin and I had discussed.
We can still make an edit and adjustment after. Maybe, yeah.
If we need to, okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have action items. I would love to be able to skip this first one, but we cannot. So can I get a motion for personnel update, please?
I move that the Groseal Township Schools Board of Education approve the personnel update as presented.
Support.
And this is for Mr. John Hademaker, a middle school teacher, resigning at the end of this year.
Retiring, right?
Retiring.
Retiring, yes. Any discussion?
Thoughts? Mr. Hademaker, come on up here and
Yes,
introduce
please.
yourself, please. I was on the board when we hired you, and I think it's one of the best hires we have. You have been a phenomenal teacher. Phenomenal, yes. And we're going to miss you sorely.
It was a downward spiral ever since, I think it was 2013, when I left you and your son in Gettysburg.
That might have been a little bit of it, yes.
You know, just an unfortunate miscount of bus seats.
Push the button.
And you should have seen the head of hair on Justin before he became my mentee and then my principal. I know Scooter's been gunning for me a lot lately because of the frightening experiences at the bus drive there. So it's sad but exciting for me. I'm looking forward to doing some new things, but know that I've given you, since the day I walked in that school, my 100% best every single day I walked in.
Yes, you have.
And I've loved every minute of being here. And I hope you guys have loved every minute of having me there. I've taught most of your kids, you know, and I can't believe 21 years has gone by. You know, I've got about 28 years of service in, and I bought my 5 years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out on top. I haven't been in the news or anything, so I'm just, I'm just going to call this a win. And
Year's not over yet.
My heart belongs to you guys, and I loved being here. So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Our privilege.
I do just have to quickly say, knowing John for almost 20 years now, being more than just a coworker but a friend, John is someone that constantly gives it 100% every day. We give the shirt off his back for anyone. So John, thank you for everything you've done for me as a teacher, as a principal, and as a person, and as a friend. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'd just like to say, you've had all three of my kids. I hope that my 8th grader didn't force John out to retirement. But I know. No, but all three, it's not often when you have 3 kids and all 3 of them had the kind of love that they had for you as a teacher. So I'm grateful that they all 3 were able to walk into your class, and greatly appreciate you.
Well, I would like to say selfishly also, I've really gotten to know John over the past couple of years. He's got both my daughters, and this is my personal thank you. But the one thing I will not miss is every day I pick my girls up from school, and 3 to 4 days a week, I don't know how he does it, but he finds a way to sneak around my truck and scare the bejeebers out of me every day. So I will not miss that at all. But what I will miss is the impact that you've had on my girls, okay? Science, middle school, 2 very difficult items. When you started here, I was long gone and graduated from Grosse Ile. I have no doubt that if you were my teacher, I still probably would have done pretty poor. But I probably would have liked it a lot more. But to your family, I hope you all know what an amazing man that you have right there, and the impact that he's had on so many students that have come through the school. And if you don't realize it yet, I hope very soon that you will one day, that you've got a true gem. In my 45 years here on the island, and being involved in the schools and family, and my father graduated in '66, we've had a lot of great teachers come through the school district, and you rank up at the top, John. So thank you for all your service with us. Thank you. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
You should be very proud of him. All of you should be very proud of him. So, okay.
If I may, real quick,
please.
just, although we had our little mishap, that was the best bus, period. We had a great time. We learned a lot. I learned a lot. My kids learned a lot. Each one of them going through and being in your class. You've been an asset to this district, to all the kids that you have worked with. And do not be a stranger,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, definitely. Well said.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion- Sorry, Ms. Teen, you're out. Motion passes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, next, can I get the Bond Middle School Administration Building Pavement Bid Approval? Can I get a motion, please?
I move that the Grosedale Township Schools Board of Education approve the bid recommendation as presented. This is,
Support.
this is a total project award recommendation, cost of $557,509.
Good. Any further discussion?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Yep, we talked about this at the work session. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the Bond High School Partial Roof Replacement Bid Approval. Can I get a motion, please?
I move that the Groseal Township Schools Board of Education approves the bid recommendation as presented.
Support.
And this is for the bond roofing project of the high school, going to Lutz Roofing for a total of $413,490.
Any further discussion? Again, covered in the work session. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the 2025-2026 School of Choice openings. Can I get a motion, please?
I move that the Groseal Township Schools Board of Education approves limited school of choice for the 2025-2026 school year pursuant to the State School Aid Act, MCL, God, I gotta make this bigger. MCL 388.1705, Section 105 as presented.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the amended budget. Can I get a motion, please?
I move that the Groseal Township Schools Board of Education approve the 2024-25 general fund budget amendment as presented.
Support.
Any discussion?
No, Linda did a great job tonight. Thank you, Linda.
Great job as always, Linda. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. And lastly, we have the Neola September 2024 second reading.
I move that the Groseal Township Schools Board of Education approves the second and final reading of board policy as presented.
Support.
And this is for policy 1130, 3110, 4110, 6110, 6111, 6112, 6114, 6325, 6550, 7310, 7450, 3120.08, 5330.02, 5340, 5350, 7440.03, 7540.009, and 8321. And just a note that we tabled 2264, and we'll review that in the March update. These were all reviewed in committee and in the January work session.
Any discussion? Everybody in the audience got all those numbers, right? We're good? Yep. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, lastly, superintendent update. Superintendent Kalis.
First, I'd like to say congratulations, John. Just being here tonight speaks to your professionalism, and we are sad to see you go, but so happy for you. Congratulations. I have a little list tonight, so bear with me. I don't want to leave anything out. So I want to give congratulations to the Groseal High School students for earning the Michigan Green School Emerald status. And this achievement highlights their dedication to environmental science. The Environmental Science Club that was started in our newly introduced environmental science class worked on this and received that status for the first time for our school. We are very proud of them. Over the last week, our youngest learners celebrated their 100th day of school, and it was so fun to see them dressed up as 100 years old. Although all of our students went to that milestone, our youngest learners are the most excited to celebrate the 100th day. Groseal High School put on an incredible freshman orientation and opportunity night where they welcomed students and families to the high school. So this was definitely a student-centered experience with students Aubrey Karodi and Katie Anchishevitz serving as MCs for the night. They were awesome and even interviewed their counselors and their principals to get all of the students prepared. Last week, our 8th grade students had the opportunity to witness real court cases, actual real court cases being tried right in front of them at the middle school. It was a great experience for our students, and we all should be so proud. Our 8th graders presented with such maturity and wonderful behavior that I am certainly proud of them for being a part of that. Let's see, today, the library committee met for the first time. They had a scheduled meeting on the 13th of February, which was moved due to a weather-related closure, that we've had a few of those lately. But I was on the phone with Principal Garza right before this meeting, and she told me it went very well. They discussed how many of the library standards are actually covered right within our Wit and Wisdom curriculum, and students are learning about research and things of that nature, citing textual evidence right through their curriculum and programming, and that was a great discussion. And they also discussed ways to organize books in the collaborative space and ways of bringing them back, and also ways to revamp our collection, which was exciting. And then last, I want to publicly recognize all of the efforts that were put in by all of the individuals that helped secure a 2-year contract with the Groseal Education Foundation. There is a wage reopener in the upcoming school year, but I know our Board of Ed voted on this at the work session, but wanted to recognize the efforts of all parties that had something to do with that settlement on a public meeting. So congratulations to all involved. That is all I have. Thank you.
Great. All right. This meeting is adjourned.